Marvel, it makes me think about Disney, which makes me think about Pixar, which makes me think about the new Pixar movie that just came out. I think it's called Elo or whatever.
That's impressive that you can even think about that movie.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's about a little Hispanic boy going into space and having outer space adventures. I don't know. But long story short, that movie did not do too well in the box office. And there was a quote from someone from Pixar. It's like the struggles of trying to do an original movie and then not have that original movie do well. So therefore, the studio gets trapped to doing Toy Story 27.
I saw that too.
So it's just this that brings me on to this topic of, what do people really want? Because the box office, people speak with their wallets, right? So when people purchase movies or games or whatever, are they purchasing original content or sequel, nostalgia bait, whatever? And my thing is, I believe it is mostly just a big corporation problem, as in Disney, Nintendo. It's these legacy companies that are having this trouble, because I believe original content is still doing fine when it comes to smaller studio things. That's why people are always excited about new games all the time. We always want something new, something great, something different. We're not, although we do get excited about our sequels and our remakes and shit like that. Majority of gamers specifically, we want that new shit. We want that new game that's gonna blow our minds to produce more sequels. We're not always just waiting for, I can't wait for Resident Evil 10. I can't wait for Final Fantasy 17.
I'm gonna be real.
I can't wait for Persona 6. Hurry up, Persona 6, drop.
Hard disagree, especially with games. I would say more with games than anything.
So you think I would
say the only industry that I'm immune from that with is shows. Like new shows, I fuck with. Spin-offs of shows, I don't fuck with.
That's a great point.
Much. Video games, nah, I would say even especially games. But it's a shared problem between games and movies, is that y'all should never locked up Harvey Weinstein. All right, that's the problem. All right, because there's a direct correlation between that motherfucker being in cuffs and the quality of Hollywood going down. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, listen. I don't know. I don't have inside info. All I'm saying is I can't help but notice a coincidence. Okay, is that the problem is Hollywood and the game industry, which is basically tethered together now at this point.
I really want to edit like a free Harvey Weinstein.
I never said that
on your shirt.
I never said free him.
That's what it sounds like.
I didn't say free him.
That's what people are typing in the comments right now, and I'm typing with them. Brother Jay is tripping.
I didn't say free him.
All women.
I didn't say free him. I said locking him up had a direct effect on the quality of product that y'all pushing out. Okay. Listen, maybe it's a coincidence, but it doesn't feel like it. Okay. And the thing is you've lost trust with people because it all sucks, dude. Like even the music industry, like, you know how many times like at work I'll hear a song that's just a complete cover of another song?
All the time.
All the time now. Most songs now are in some way have influence from older songs, and it's like it at this point the audience is like, fuck it, give me the remake, because I don't trust y'all on these new IPs. Like especially whenever we see, like with gaming, like whenever we see these like summer game fest and shit, the Xbox like the last Xbox Direct was a great example. It was pretty good. They announced a lot of decent looking games, but you know what the number one thing online was, and also for me, that's all cool, but where's Halo? You announced Gears E-Day. Where's that? Where's Elder Scrolls? Where's Fable? Where's all these things that we like and we already know and we're already looking forward to, and our sequels or remakes or spinoffs, and like you guys are just giving us, oh cool, Patrick in space, it's like cool, you know what I mean? Like,
well, wait until you play Patrick in Space.
No.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like
you got to give Patrick in Space a chance, dude. The gameplay, I heard the story's pretty good in Patrick in Space. Kind of like Death Stranding, but in space instead. But there you go. Now it's an influence based off Death Stranding.
Fuck you.
Damn.
And
I pre-order Patrick in Space. And the Deluxe Edition.
No. And the thing is like, I saw, who was it? it was some video game YouTuber that mentioned this, and he's right. Unreal Engine 5 is like kind of one of the worst things to ever happen at games
I think so.
because it's all so easy to use. The assets are so easy to preload, and the graphics look so good that it created this like baseline standard for games now, right? Like where a game will be like, wow, that looks really pretty, and it looks really graphically impressive, but it has no personality. Like it just looks like every other game that looks that good, you know? And so now it's almost like good graphics are like don't look good anymore. Because it's like now it's like, yeah, this looks photorealistic, but like where's the creativity?
I feel like we had a discussion about this like episode 1 or 2. Could be capping, but about the idea of like all games look great now, so graphics really aren't that big of a selling point. It's like they're all
Right.
look great. So
Right.
that should even be like how good this game looks. We know all games look great for the most part.
Yeah, the thing that's gonna actually make it stand out is creativity. Like, have you heard about that game?
Patrick in Space?
It's like I think I showed you the trailer for that. It's like American Samurai Story or whatever.
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a game about basically if like it seems like if Japan won World War II and then influenced everywhere. So like it's a game that takes place in America, but America is fully like yeah.
Okay.
And so like it's like a post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse in America that was fully embraced into Japanese culture. So there's like a part where it talks about like the president like strictly has like a 2-hour window every day where he ceases all presidential activity and watches anime. You know?
It kind of lost me here. At
You
first,
know?
I was like, "Oh," and that's like, "Oh, so this is some wacky shit."
It is. It's wacky as
Some
fuck.
like Play No Hero shit. Oh no,
Yeah,
Play No Heroes.
No More Heroes?
No More Heroes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. It's like that. Yakuza, like it has this incredibly like what the fuck is happening in this game even. But like the trailer looks so interesting and so creative and stupid that I'm like fucking on board for that. You know what I mean? I'm like, give me that, dude.
Do we ever get past sequels? Are we stuck in this all of media, or is there a renaissance of original content overwhelming sequels, and we're just back
Well-
until like original content is being what everyone wants?
Okay, so the problem is that
I'm looking for the solution.
Right.
goddammit. But continue.
Right. But the problem is that actual creativity is left corporate America. Right? So like
Well,
there-
man, it was never in corporate America.
Damn right. Well, it used to be. You know, back when Disney started and shit. You know, I mean, those artists were genius.
Yeah.
Walt Disney's a genius. All the actual creatives are like doing things like starting Supergiant, right? Like those, like the Supergiant are the people who made Hades and stuff. Those guys aren't working at EA, right? Because it's creative bankruptcy, right? I have a friend who works.
You have
at,
a friend?
I have a friend who works at NetherRealm, right? I'm not gonna say his name. I met him before 11 came out, I think, and he was excited about 11, kind of. But I don't remember him really ever feeling like he likes that job, but he's not like thinking that they're doing great work over there necessarily, right? And it's because WB sucks. And like WB as the parent, and I don't think it's NetherRealm's problem. NetherRealm has always put out fire. It's WB. All the problems with these games have come from WB. It's all these like. I saw this video recently that was talking about this concept. I don't remember exactly what the word for it is, but basically it's the idea that like, and I related it to us with this podcast. It's the idea that like, when you have this goal, this lofty goal, right? This huge goal, the natural human thing to do is to like chop up your roadmap to get to that goal into these like sections, right? And each of those sections are important. Sometimes a section is temporary. Sometimes it's something you have to adapt for the whole time and get started and blah, blah, blah. But people will tend to do this thing, this natural human thing to do, and corporations and companies do this too, where they'll like get really pigeonholed and really like wrapped up in this like one part and then forget about the goal and then like just sort of fuck up the goal because they're worried about this one aspect of it, right? So like when it comes to gaming, the number one should be fun, always, right? And some of you might disagree with me out there, okay? I've heard people disagree with me at this point before, but let me explain.
About fun and video games?
Yes, right? Fun should be the number one thing whenever you're thinking about a mechanic, the game, every aspect of the game, fun should be first, right? And gaming is business, so you're trying to make money. I understand that. Not everything can be free to play. Not everything can be just, free to access. So you have to think about how to monetize. But like, ultimately, if it's not fun, nobody's going to play it. You're not going to keep players. So like, you shouldn't be thinking about how does this make money. It should be how is this fun? How does it engage people? How do people stick around, right? And when you're worried too much about things like, how are we going to make money on this and not, is it good? Then like, that's how you end up with a situation like we have now where every single game has this like huge fucking lofty microtransaction storefront. And like now it's becoming a thing where indie games that don't have these things like Hades, Moonlighter, stuff like that, these are video games. These are art. But something like Call of Duty, Fortnite, these are businesses. These are games that act as businesses, right? You're opening a store, you're selling products, right? Your product is to sell a product. In the same way that like Supreme is the product because it's like the branding, but they're selling socks. You know what I mean? You gotta sell. Supreme as a name is great, but it don't mean shit if you're not selling socks. You know what I mean? If you're not selling shit. You're selling a crowbar with your name on it. You know what I mean? So like, when they're getting too focused on this thing and they're not thinking about is this fun or not, and then that's the issue with corporate America in general, but corporate gaming. So like, I don't think they're ever going to get away from it because these things are only happening more and more. So like these studios don't understand and don't know how to like be creative anymore, right?
I want to
Only indie
argue
studios
real
do.
quick of just the idea of like, because we always think about corporations and them not really understanding what the people want and stuff like that. I want to say, I'm an optimistic guy.
Sure.
I want to say these corporations are smart enough, but I think it's the greed about it. Like I even think about the stuffy guy. Don't get me wrong. I think the higher you go, there are pretty much stuffy people in high ranking positions in companies that really don't get art. You know what I mean? I think there's just, they get bills, but I feel like even for them, I still feel like I think we'd be surprised with how many of them actually do appreciate good art and shit like that, but they don't care. It's the idea of money is more important. They understand that yes, we could take the time and produce more art and have it be more impactful and this and that. However, it's not going to bring us enough money. So who gives a fuck about the artistic vision and shit like that? We're trying to get monetized. We're trying to get sponsorships. We're trying to make sure this is as sellable as wide ranging. So by that, we might have to bring down the creativity, and maybe it heartbreaks them. But I feel like their heart's gone at this point. I think it's just filled with. I get it. It's kind of horseshit. It's whatever, but it sells, so push it out. They acknowledge versus I think a lot of us think they're doing the head scratching every time something flops or doesn't sell. It's like, why didn't we did the new Snow White? We did this. Why didn't people really love it? I think they do understand why people didn't love it for whatever reason when they fuck up. Some of them. I think I don't know how many percentage wise, but I think there's a large percent of them that realize when they fuck up, but keep going because it's all about that money, baby.
No, I don't agree that they know, because think about some of our prior bosses, right? We've discussed this. When you start a business, when you start anything, right? This is something that I personally kind of struggle with the podcast, right? When we started this podcast, before we started it, right? We were first and foremost fans of the industry first, right? And that's what got us into it to begin with. But like, because I'm busy making this one and trying to, make money and do all my other shit, my time for actually listening to others and other podcasts has diminished. It's not gone. I still do it. In fact, I just recently started listening to a new one recently. It's not new, but new to me. I knew it was around. I just recently started actually watching a bunch of episodes. It's Matan. You know who Matan is? He's the kid who like won in the Game Awards, started talking about how Bill Clinton is on the Epstein list or whatever the fuck. Do you know what I'm talking
No.
about? Anyway, he's funny. He's like an internet personality. If I showed you a picture of him, you'd know.
Okay.
So he anyway, his podcast is good. I've listened to less. The problem is, you get in this weird space where it's like, I don't want to overindulge because I don't want to accidentally, subconsciously steal from shit. I want to be creative, but also I need to be a participant still. right? Because if I get too far away from that side of the table, then I'm forgetting what that side of the table wants,
Yeah.
you know? And I can't imagine these like CEOs and board of executives and all these people are sitting around playing games. You know what I mean? These like grind set bros.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like people who are like, if you're circling, talk about money and nothing else. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
these are the same people who think that video games are a bad thing and a distraction and a waste of your time. So they're not playing them. So if you're not playing games, how the fuck do you know what's good and what's fun? You know what I mean? Like if you look down on your audience, right? Indie developers don't do that, right? Like they are gamers.
Now that got me thinking, and we'll move on to our next probably final topic of the day after this. But it makes me think that they couldn't have started out that way, or do some just start and work their way to high level positions and then just work at multiple different high level positions in their career? Because when you talk about we've been talking about video games, so we'll stick to video games. A video game exec not playing video games, you would think they started off playing video games and then they work their way up in whatever gaming field, and now they're a high level executive. But now they're at a point where they're not gaming like they used to back in their old teenage days, early adulthood, stuff like that. Now they're trying to focus on that money, how to make this business more profitable, how to get the sales up. So they might be becoming more and more detached from what actual gamers and what the consumers truly want.
For sure. And like they're not reading comments. They are having somebody else read the comments and tell them about it. And like, how often do people want to be the messenger of bad news all day, every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that come out that just get ripped in comments. And I'm just thinking, like, they have to be seeing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then they come out with a sequel for that thing. And it's like, okay. You know what I mean? I guess they didn't,
Reminds me of going back to Disney, Lilo and Stitch. Do you know the live action made bank? It just skyrocketed. That the original made a lot of money too, but not in theaters. It was one of those things where it made a decent amount of money in theaters and then made a big resale when it came to DVD and VHS sales. That's a lot of early Disney from the 90s, the early 2000s. Not doing well in theaters, but killing it in the home department. So for this live action movie that a lot of us didn't see, that's cap. A lot of people did see. Obviously, we didn't see it, but talk a lot of shit about this. Why they remaking this? Whatever. However, people pay with their fucking wallets.
Yeah.
And they went to see them in droves. And who did? A lot of us, millennials and people who grew up with it, bringing their kids because we remembered it. And it's summertime, and it's like I gotta get them out the house somehow.
Right.
But also having that nostalgia with it, and it just did so well in sales that most likely we're probably going to get a sequel to a live action movie we really didn't want a live action remake to, but we'll probably get a sequel to it because it did so well. So fappers out there, if you want to support original content and speak with your wallets, do that. Go and support original content so we can get out of the age of sequels and remakes and bring in a new age, a new dawn of creativity.
Yeah.